Yo, Wagwan, it's that guy. You know what? I don't need a new mic. I actually just fixed the one that I had. I had to reinstall the drivers on it, whatever, but we're sounding crisp, we're sounding good now and back into business. We're looking at Sauve Sidle's dreadlocks today. So make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed. This is Not Nation.
With your bride and you already know. And if a nigga try me, he gon' end up on the floor.
Basically, this kid popped up on Instagram recently with some freeform-ish locks, and honestly, they've been looking kind of fire these days, literally with the color scheme that he's got going on. It makes it look like a flame happening on top of his head. Now, he is rocking the high top dreads, as we see the side taper guaning, and definitely has some freeforms happening on top. We know this because there's no interlocking or retwisting, parting happening right to the scalp. We got a lot of new growth and a lot of I guess lengthy, got a lot of length on his scalp as well. Now his hair definitely has been bleached in order to get these colors happening. Now this side looks like the original bleach color, while this side has been bleached, then added to orange, added red. It actually does remind me of Elephant Man in the early years, because he used to always rock this sort of color scheme on his head top. Now, I'm actually a fan of these locks. Now, I wouldn't say go ahead and dye your hair all crazy colors like this right off the bat. Some people want dreads just so they can do that, but his dreads definitely pretty unique to his own. They actually remind me of guys like Odell Beckham. His hair could have turned out like this had he freeformed it out. Even a little Basquiat type style. And you can see that, you know, if he lets these Congo up, he can have some really big wick forming on the top of his head. Now, I like how a lot of his tips are pretty blunted. They actually look pretty thin. So he actually could have started these dreads from the sponge method and then stopped and just let them Congo up after that. Hence why we see a lot of thickness coming from the roots these days. And here the color looks a bit more faded than it was in the first. So one thing to keep notice of is when you are dyeing your dreads, they will fade out and kind of muddle into this like blurge of colors, like a paint palette, especially when you have a rainbow scheme going on your head. If you remember the Migos, they had this when Offset dyed his hair to be like a turquoise and yellow. It kind of looked really muddled in the long run of things. So what we don't notice from the front is that on the back of his head is actually dyed green. Now this is real like XXX like with the two-tone, but he's gone with two different colors, obviously. Real Rasta like. He's holding down the Rasta colors quite well. But again, notice the muddled colors on the right side here. And this is actually pretty much the same as Offset's dread coloring that he did. Now I like this here, dreads on the nape. Obviously looking a lot thicker than the ones around the rest of his head. And surprisingly enough, you can even fit a hat over his freeform locks right now because they are short enough that you can actually rock the snapbacks still. Don't expect to be able to do that for your whole dread journey, but at the beginning, definitely yes. Being from Chicago here, you know, they hold it down in Chicago. This is actually a real different look considering he's from Chicago. A lot of people from there don't really rock their dreads like this, so it's cool to see some differentials here. Again, a shot from behind. You can see the thicker dreads on the back and the color scheme. It looks more like it's freshly dyed at this point. I really like the orange and the red color scheme over the green and the yellow. If you would go the whole orange and red, that'd be kind of cool. Make it look like fire like this, and he's got the anime Sauve happening there. It's pretty dope. Yeah, it looks pretty cool the way he rocks it with the hat on. It's a little bit bulgy on the top, sides tapered, probably why he can fit the hat. Now New Era does make hats big enough to fit dreads underneath. You just have to order them specialty from their website. And then pictures like, yikes, I can't put that one up. Oh gosh, yikes. Real interesting post here to see his freeforms braided up, and that's very ambitious of him to be able to do this. Now I wouldn't have expected to see his Freeform high tops braided back like this, it actually does look pretty good. I'm not sure how it would actually affect the formation of his locks, because he might have to like separate them a little bit when you're braiding it down to the scalp like that. So if there was any congos happening, I'm pretty sure they would have been torn apart to achieve this look. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of his lock, specifically in this picture here. I think it's pretty ambitious of him. And we got another picture here, same thing with his hair braided back. So real different look to go from the wild freeforms down to the braided freeforms. People always ask, can you braid freeform dreads? And it seems to be yes, you can. So I'm gonna end this here for Sauve's dreadlock review. Hopefully you guys appreciate this video, and I'll definitely see you in the next. So peace out, one love, smash that subscribe button down below, and I will see you in the next dreadlock update. Adios.